y'all? It's your girl Erica, and we are back with another On Our Radar interview. And tonight I'm joined by Julian Keaton. Julian, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Of course.
Thank you.
I love y'all.
Love you too. So, first of all, just start off, introduce yourself for people who don't know who you are.
Yeah, so my name's Julian Keaton. A lot of folks know me as a talent manager here in the St. Louis community. Kind of do a little bit of everything from digital marketing, outside of management. And yeah, that's the best way to describe what I do.
Okay, we're going to get into all of that. We're going to get into all the things. So, starting off, what inspired you to take on management and marketing rather than pursue your own rap career?
Yeah, so I wanted to rap. I wanted to sing. I wanted to DJ. I did a little bit of everything. But I remember having a recording session with the Gold Giraffe back in 2006 or 7. And he's like, yeah, bro, you'd be a better manager. And so I thought about it. Coming from a long line of entrepreneurs, it just made sense because I was always business savvy. So when opportunity came, it just made sense for me to fall into it. And I hadn't stopped since.
Okay, cool. Now, was it hard transitioning between, artist and musician to management? Or?
I mean, I was always the type to want to do a little bit of everything to begin with. So even when I was first starting off managing folks, I was still doing my own thing. And so it helped that I also had a radio show that allowed me to just have fun with it. So when the opportunity came for me to manage NME, I could still fully just dive in and helping them while still being able to write and be a spoken word artist behind the scenes.
So who are some people that you've managed or worked with?
Yeah, so Mastermind is probably the most notable. I work with Mike Lee currently. I work with MC Trade, Marvell Q. Trying to think who all those. There's a ton of other artists from all over the world who I've done marketing for. I've booked, if we want to talk about who all I've booked, from a concert promotion standpoint, everyone from D1, Odyssey, Run the Jewels, you name it, I've kind of booked almost a little bit of everybody.
Okay, Perry's out here working, period. We like that. So you also have your own platform called Julian Jules. So talk about that. What is Julian Jules?
Yeah, Julian Jules is a music business community where we provide artists and music professionals the tools and the resources to be able to develop themselves and not have to rely so heavily on music industry, old standards, where they can empower themselves to do the work themselves. Right now, we're kind of shifting to a different business model as we're opening up a recording studio later next month and allowing artists to be able to have access to not just the studio, but access to the Julian Jules team as a whole, and giving them the resources like the hands-on support that a lot of artists need.
Cool, awesome. Now you mentioned artist development. So what are your thoughts on the importance of artist development, and do you feel like that's something that's missing in a lot of today's artists?
Well, it's funny, right? Because we're in this age where social media allows people to just be themselves.
Yeah.
Right? And so I try to tell folks hey, at the end of the day, from a music creation standpoint, from a marketing standpoint, be yourself because people can read through when you're not being yourself. Right? So all of the artist development work that me and my team try to do comes from understanding foundational marketing, techniques and skills, because you can get as innovative and creative as you want to, but you still have to understand the foundation and the basics when it comes to marketing. From a management standpoint, when you're managing your own career, it's just understanding the business. And a lot of artists don't have the resources or the connections to be able to learn how to just manage it themselves. And so I create online courses through our online community that allow people to have to not go through the headaches of bumping their head on the ground a lot, and they can just know what to do when the opportunity comes.
I definitely noticed during the pandemic, you guys were definitely active and heavy on dropping jewels and things on how to navigate the music industry, especially during the pandemic, because the pandemic definitely changed the game for everybody.
Yeah. It was an interesting time. I first started really hopping on Instagram back in 2018. So when the pandemic happened, it was really natural for me to just step in front of the camera and just talk to the community, online community. I want to get back to it soon, and I will. So I got some really cool stuff planned for it.
Okay, okay. So who are some artists that you think should be on our radar, since we are on our radar?
Right. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to Jada Mall, who's a St. Louis favorite, but I know he's working on some really cool stuff. Marvell Q is probably another. I'm trying to think what women that like you all have not already profiled that I think would be really dope. If you all have not covered Courtney from New York, who's from St. Louis but she's based in New York right now, I think she would be someone that everybody should be checking for.
For sure. So, what are 3 things you think the St. Louis music scene needs to do in order to stop being so like overlooked?
3 things?
Yes.
Ugh. I would say one, not be cliquish. Like St. Louis has a really like cliquish issue, being cliquish and whatnot. Secondly, would be like actually get out and promote your music. Like a lot of
That's
people,
important.
what I've seen historically, and this even goes back to the OGs for years, that people will put out music, promote it for 2 or 3 weeks, and then start promoting or working on the next project instead of like actually promoting what you have. So if folks actually did that for a nice little minute, that would be great. I think thirdly would be, I want to say the media and like all folks behind the scenes, us coming together more often to like having a conversation of, all right, who's been putting in the work that we can give a stamp of approval and all get behind for a month so we can all put our leverage and promotion into these artists so they can make it to that next level. I would say those 3 things.
So, what's your relationship with Digilog?
Digilog.
All right.
Just say that over, yeah. I meant to see your voice note. Digilog, yeah.
Digilog, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just going to take a risk here. Okay.
Sorry.
All right, well done. Okay. So, what's your relationship with Digilog, and how can St. Louis artists get involved?
Great question. So the Digilog is a music community based up in New York. I am the St. Louis music community curator. So my job is to help St. Louis artists kind of get tapped into their community, mostly through the playlisting that they do. They also do event programs like meetups. They also do now playing sessions where they invite artists to come to studio sessions and play their music for A&Rs or other music professionals. And so my job is to kind of facilitate the event programming in the St. Louis market, and also help folks, submit for their playlists.
Nice. So, last question. We talked about all the things that you do. Sounds like you're a very, very busy man. So, how do you, take time to practice self-care, and what does self-care look like to you?
Self-care. It is one thing that I struggle with. But I will say I do like to work out. It's the one thing that does ground me a lot. And if I'm not working out, the best thing that grounds me and that I can really put a good emphasis around when it comes to self-care is praying. That keeps me grounded and centered and allows me to be focused on what needs to get done.
Nice. Well, thank you so much again for taking the time to chat with us. Where can people get tapped into, you, your Instagram, Julian Jules, and all the things that you do?
Yeah, so if you visit our website, julianjules.com, you can find all of our information about what it is that I do in the community and how to get studio access to work with my team. And you can find us online at Julian Jules, JulianJewelsCom. You can find us on all socials.